if we're going to do a gut microbiome experiment on humans, we're going to be sitting around for 80 years, absolute nightmare. So we want to do some sort of proof of concept in something that lives a bit shorter. So what they did was they got some of these killifish and they waited until they're about 2 months old. They're sort of middle age if you're a killifish. And then they gave them this really potent course of antibiotics, which basically wiped out their whole gut microbiome. And then they did one of two things. They either gave them the microbiome of a middle-aged fish, so essentially they cleaned it out for a couple of days and then gave them the same microbes back, or they gave them the microbiome from a younger fish. Those killifish, the middle-aged ones who'd had this infusion from the younger fish, they lived longer. They lived about a month longer, actually, which, you know, when you only live 4 months, living 5 is actually rather impressive. And they also found, obviously it's hard to check for sort of the frailty and cognitive performance in a tiny little fish, but they saw that they darted around the tank more, which they thought was sort of, you know, an indicator of delayed frailty. Again, these aren't dragging out the sort of a frail part at the end of life. It seems to be keeping them healthier for longer. And so this is a really interesting piece of causal evidence that suggests that if you manipulate the microbiome, you can also manipulate the aging process.